Well, I got to go check and see why a tower is down. Hopefully it's something simple to fix. Uh, Sitting there watching some videos on YouTube and stuff, and it was like roughly 53 degrees outside, 15 mile or 20 mile an hour winds, nice and chilly. Next thing I know, to get a notification, tower's down. Gave it about 15 minutes to see if it'd come back up. Nothing. So I got to ride down and see what it is. Hopefully it's something simple. We will know when I get there. Well, I got down here and found out what the reason is for the tower to be offline. Equipment does not work without power. The facility that provides power to the tower, the one that pays the electricity bill at that location, they have a debit card, credit card, or whatever online and has auto pay turned on, which is a normal thing people to do. The drawback on that is it's out of sight, out of mind situation. And what I mean by that is you put say a debit card on there and the expiration date is like 3 years from now. Well, it's been going on auto for so long that you forget all about it. And you may have multiple accounts, 5 or 8 accounts that just automatically pays a certain bill. Your rent, your lights, your cable, telephone, whatever, it just automatically takes it off your card each month. Well, what happened is the expiration date came up. So everything that's on auto pay with that card does not get paid. Of course, you get notification, but if you ignore it and say, oh, I'll take care of it later, then things start getting turned off. But maybe their email or whatever may went to junk mail, spam or whatever, and they never saw it. It happens, believe me. I've got people that I provide internet for that said, oh, they get the email saying their bill is past due and their account has been suspended. But they replied to that email as if I actually sent it to them, but I didn't because it's all automated. They said, how can that be? I got auto pay on. So I go in there and I can see the last 4 digits of their card and I can see expiration date. And I tell them, I was like, the card has expired. That's the reason why I see it may not got paid. That happens more often than you would think that would happen. More than I would think that it would happen. Because I didn't think that, that many people let the cards expire and it's on auto pay, because I know I've had some in the past that I get an email and I'll address it right then, but not everybody does that. And it happens, I would say half a dozen times a year with just a few people that I deal with. And that's the same thing happened on here. They said, oh, the card has expired. We put a new card, it should be back up online. Power should be back on in 20 minutes or less. And in about 18 minutes, all my towers started coming back up online. Or that particular tower, and everybody else started coming back online that's actually connected to that AP. That's something that's just a human error that, well, it may not even be a human error. It may be techno, that they did not get the email or didn't get the text that their card has expired, or the bill did not get paid for whatever reason, and they didn't get the notification. It's just out of sight, out of mind. But that happens. It all got taken care of. So when I got over here, first thing I did, I didn't even get no tools out. I went straight to the power meter, be sure there's power on the building. And these digital smart meters, you can look on it and it will see, I think it says OPN with the cycles of the displays it shows. One, it will show if it's on or off, and it will see, I think the letters are OPN or CLS, closed or open. And I stood there and watched it cycle, and I saw the OPN. Means for whatever reason, it has been remotely turned off. The circuit has been turned off by the office or computer or whatever. The circuit has been opened up in the meter itself, which stops the electricity. Now, I have seen it where twice in my life that I can recall that the wrong one got turned off. And they just called and they said, yeah, that was a mistake, and they turned it back on. So I didn't know if they, what happened. If they just forgot to pay the bill, auto pay, and the card expired, or the system turned off their meter accidentally. But they said they looked into it and they said, yeah, I had to change the card because it expired, is what they said would happen. But either way, it's back on. But it happens. This automated stuff, you get it out of sight, out of mind, and this fast-paced world, you just forget of things. That's why they call it out of sight, out of mind. You just forget about it until it sneaks back up on you for some reason. And like my phone don't work because, the card expired for whatever reason. So it's just, it's hard to keep up with everything when you turn on auto pay. That's why I have nothing on auto pay. I've never had it on auto pay. Well, I got Starlink on auto pay, but I keep nothing on that card. And that way they will send me a notification saying unable to run or process the payment. Then I'll go in there in the next couple of days and go ahead and put money on that card and pay it. I just don't like auto pay, and the ones that force you to do auto pay. I just use that one card that I have to put money on it because I just don't want unexpected charges. I've had that back in, I think the first bank account I had back in the 80s, and I've turned on auto pay to pay my first light bill, and the light bill ran somewhere between 50 and 75. And I was there for like 2 years, a little bit over 2 years. And all of a sudden, I see a charge on there for $280 to the light company. I'm like, I didn't use that much electricity. And I looked at my bill, and the bill said, I think it was like $62, $63 that I owe. Why was it 200 and something? They said, oh, our system messed up. But it took them over 5 days to get the money back on my card. And I was just starting out. I was pinching pennies. So after that incident, I learned real quick, do not turn on auto pay. I turned that sucker off, and when the bill came in, I went online and I paid my bill or wrote a check and mailed it in. I've never turned on auto pay and just let the payments go. Now Starlink, they'll just send you a notification, unable to process payment. Most of them, that's what they do. But I will not let it go to my bank account or anything. Regardless, now I don't have no problem with money on there, but I like to make payments. I don't like that automated stuff. But after that incident I had there, you know, it was triple the payment. But just getting the money back, that was just not. They can take it in a second, but getting it to come back, they can't do it as fast. And I'm like, and it's still that way, because that's why you go do a refund, say at Walmart, and they said, well, whatever payment method that you use, that it would put the money back on there. Some of them would say 3 to 5 business days. Some would say 7 to 10 business days. I'm like, you took the money in a matter of seconds. Well, you can give me my money back then. But they don't, and it's still that way. So I don't use autopay. But I'm glad it was something simple and got everybody that's on that tower back with internet. Now, if this was during the summer, man, I would get blown up with texts, emails, phone calls, and everything. But only one person said, hey, my internet's down. And I replied through the text, which they're supposed to do through the portal of their account, and write up a ticket, not text, because I didn't see the text, because I don't get notifications on that number to my phone. I actually have to open up the app and look, and I knew somebody's going to be there. Always is. But I said, check your email. I sent out a notification to all the accounts, to their emails, that was affected. I don't even try to explain to them what's going on. I just say, check your email, because it's all in there. Try to get everybody to use that portal to write up tickets instead of text. But they'll learn if, you know, after hours they text me, I just don't text them back. Maybe they learn the hard way, you know. Use the portal that you have. Text after you got service. You're not going to get a response. Some people have to learn the hard way. But I'm just glad I got this fixed. Now I got to wait till this afternoon. Got somebody just cannot get their TV to connect to the Wi-Fi. They said their phone will connect, their laptop will connect, but the TV, they cannot get it to connect for whatever reason. I know they're on the right Wi-Fi because they sent me a picture of the TV screen with the error, and I see the name of the Wi-Fi, and it's on there, and it's the right one. So I got to go see if I can help them get that done. And then tomorrow, start packing up some stuff, going grocery shopping, and get ready for a trip. I do believe today's Thursday, I do believe. I don't even keep up with days hardly anymore. I just get up and do what I got to do and get through the day. Let's see, what is the day? Yeah, the day is Thursday, so I got to get up and go. I'll probably go tonight because I got to leave somewhere around 11 in the morning because it's a four and a half, about 4 hours. It says by Google Maps from my residence, it says 4 hours and 22-minute drive. So basically 4.5 hour drive to go camping for the weekend. So we probably will go shopping tonight and get all what we need. I got the containers with water and I got them in the freezer going to freeze. Instead of getting a bag of ice, I'm going to get them things filled up and all and have blocks of ice instead of just bag of ice, because when it melts it just makes a mess in there. I'd rather have and all it is a half-a gallon milk containers, and I fill them up except maybe like the last 2 inches of the top, so when it freezes it'll be able to have room to expand. I got 4 of them. Use them as ice blocks. Go get some food. Be sure I got everything in the car. Got all the internet stuff out of the car, which I'll probably do that today while I got time, because it's not even noon yet and I got nothing to do until 3 or 4 o'clock. You go get that TV connected. So that's probably what I do, is get all the internet stuff out of the car, get it ready for the weekend, go camping. And yeah, I'll have some videos for that. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and come back Sunday. But thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. It really helps. I'll see you in the next video.